Hi guys, just something really quick on the witches, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn and cauldron bubble. Quick analysis of this with a post, and I hope you can use it in your exam. So first of all, we've got the internal rhyme of double and trouble, and naturally what the internal rhyme does is it magnifies the idea that they will cause conflict internally for Macbeth in terms of a few different things: loyalty, disloyalty, obviously his feelings as well towards his wife, his feelings also towards himself. There was an interesting psychoanalysis that I read about how after the murder of Duncan he is reborn as a different person, and I think the internal rhyme of the witches highlights that, because remember, they are causing chaos. And the word separating that internal rhyme of double and trouble is the word toil, and toil means to be caught in a trap, to be caught in a snare. So we get this visual representation of the double, deception, how deceitful they are. And the word separating that internal rhyme of double and trouble is the word toil, and toil means to be caught in a trap, to be caught in a snare. So we get this visual representation of the double, deception, how deceitful they are, because they're not as they appear, much like Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, and then trouble, and then we get toil in the middle. So we've got this visual representation of Macbeth being caught in the trap and the workings of the witches. As well, really interesting about the word bubble is that we know the obvious meaning, but the other meaning of a bubble is a sham or an empty show. And what we're being referred to here is how it's a sham in terms of Macbeth attempting to solidify the crown, but also the empty show could be the hollowness that he eventually feels when he realises that all of these actions have in fact been quite futile. I think there's also something we can argue about this hollowness and this emptiness in Lady Macbeth, and the idea that she's infertile. My other argument about sham as well, guys, is that the witches are more imaginary and visionary than they are in fact real. So that's something that we can perhaps consider. If they are in fact imaginary and visionary, then it means that only those who are susceptible to temptation and vulnerable of their mentality and their mindset will then fall into this trap, and therefore we've got Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, much like Eve was susceptible to the temptation of the serpent, which is linked to fire, burn and the connotations of hell. Also got the plosive sounds here of D and B, double, bubble, and they are violent. Obviously I'm talking internally violent and mentally violent. They are linked tightly to the trochaic meter. The trochaic meter obviously offsets the witches as something unnatural, something that presents them as anomalies in terms of human nature, and ontologically they are clearly out of place here. So there's lots to do there with the witches. Don't forget, this chant is in Act 4 Scene 1 when they are cooking up this massive spell. If you need anything else, it's Stacey Ray on YouTube. There's loads of videos, and at Stacey Ray on Instagram. Thanks guys.